Hey up, how are we all? Down here at Right Nice Places on what is absolutely another stunning day in RHINOG National Park. And today, me and Max, if you can see him, just around here, we are walking together through a beautiful forest just north of where I live, in a place called Tal y Bont. And we're today heading to a round hill, and it is a hill, not a mountain. It's 593 metres, so about 16 metres short of where you technically need to be classified as a mountain. I think in the UK we class a mountain as anything above 609 metres. So today we're going to go up a place called Moelfre, another bare hill. And the reason I'm doing this one today, if you've ever been to Tal y Bont or Barmouth, and you've stayed in one of the caravan sites or anything like that in Tal y Bont, you'll see this great big green hill. And it's always reminded me, if you ever read a book when you were a kid called The Iron Giant, my dad read it to me when I was a kid. I don't know why, but the story's always stuck to me for years. But at the end of the book, they bury the Iron Giant under a mound, and it creates what I can only describe as a hill that you would draw if you was a kid and you was asked to draw a hill, you know, a perfectly beautiful lump, sort of symmetrical on all sides. So it's always kind of fascinated me, this little hill, and I've always looked at it and said I need to walk up there. Anyway, last night I thought I'm going to walk up there. The weather forecast is looking great, and I wanted a walk really that little Maxie could come on me with, so I thought this will be ideal. I think it's about a 13.5, 14k route that we're taking today. I'll share the map with you in just a second so you can see for definite what it is and the elevation and stuff, but I'm not expecting a challenging walk. It's a stunning day. So yeah, let's press on. Here's the map. So parking at the Ysgethin Pub down in Tal y Bont, I made my way up straight through Ysgethin Woods, following the stream and the river on my right hand side all the time. Dead easy walk, couple of k through the woods. Beautiful, really beautiful. At this point on the map I've marked two ways. I swung left. You can cut through the field, but there was loads of sheep and I just didn't want to do it with Maxie, to be quite honest. But you carry on following then what's a bridle way, a farmer's track, pretty much all the way to the very foot of the hill, and you'll see a gate on your left hand side. You make your way through that, and at this point you carry on following the mountain around. Now I didn't actually take this path up today. We had to add some extra miles on due to a different incident, so I cut up the tree line just before this ridge, which you'll see on the video, but it ends up in the same place. Basically I came up the way this map is showing you to go down, but I met Steve and Mark at the top there. We had a cracking chat, good brew. I came down this really steep hill, and then after that you're back to a really basic walk all the way back through the woods. Back down the farmer's track, then all the way through the woods, back to the Ysgethin Pub, and hopefully if it's open on the day you do the walk, you'll be able to get a well-deserved pint at the end.
Yes, boy.
So yeah, I got distracted then by a rope swing. Apologies. Can't help it, can you really? The only worrying thing when you get to my, not age, but more size when you go on a rope swing is whether or not it's going to take your weight. But thankfully that one did. And I'm right pleased I had a go on it because it was lovely. Not quite as lovely as this walk is though. It's really easy. If you're staying in Tal y Bont or Barmouth or this sort of area, where I've parked today is the Ysgethin Pub down in Tal y Bont. Now, I've parked there with good intentions of going there for a drink or a bite to eat after my walk. Obviously, it's pretty early. I don't expect the pub to be open for 3 or 4 hours yet. But me and Max have got out nice and early this morning to make the most of this absolutely glorious day. And yeah, we thought we'd take this track, like I said earlier, mainly so Max can come with me. I feel guilty sometimes when I have a day off and I just go off and do a mountain, because Max at that age where he can't really come with me, but this walk's ideal for him. If I turn the camera around, you can see just how simple this path is going through the forest. Absolutely lovely. But it's just splattered with these little sort of moments of beauty, you know. Well, it's a constant moment of beauty, but just absolutely lovely around here. Absolutely lovely. And really not a difficult walk. As I said, I think we're only doing 593 metres of elevation. And most of it's on track, I think. Obviously, we'll see as we go on. But certainly, so far, a nice walk for everyone, really. But I do love being in the woods. I don't know if you watched my last, well, not my last video, but a couple of videos ago, I did a RHINOG Waterfalls. And again, that was walking through a wood like this. And I just think something very sort of therapeutic about being amongst trees and the smells. Not that I can smell much, I've still got that man flu, thoughts and prayers, but I can, the sounds, you know, you've got all the birds. I need to download this bird app. My dad's been harping on about it. Oh, cheers, Max. I don't know if your dog does it, but my dog does. He digs, when he's had a good sniff somewhere, he loves to dig, but then he kicks all the leaves up behind him. And as you're walking behind him, you end up getting covered in crap yourself. Not actual crap. He's not flicking poo at me. That'd be rubbish. But yeah, so my dad's just downloaded this app and I need to do it really. I saw another YouTuber that I follow using it as well, and it's a bird sound app. And basically you get it on your phone, and when you're playing, I'll post a link to it in the description because I can't remember its name, but you basically, a bit like Shazam is for music, you play it and you get all these different notifications of what birds are around you. And today that'd be awesome because it's absolutely bloody stunning in here. Full of birds, full of life, full of streams like this. I mean, just beautiful. Really, really pretty walk. So if you are looking for a nice sort of nature walk in Barmouth, so far I'd definitely recommend this one. Although I do keep tripping over stones if you keep seeing me sort of go forward quickly. Hello, Maxie. You having a nice time? Yes? You need a treat, do you? There you go, come on. Look at this now though, I mean, absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it's good to see spring back in it. I mean, what a time to be out walking. I mean, I got up this morning, I knew I was coming here today because I checked the forecast last night, and the forecast, I mean, we are funny us Brits, we get awfully excited when it gets into double figures, and for the rest of the world that usually means warm double figures. Today's 11 degrees and I've got the t-shirt on, the sun's out, the cap's on. It just feels good, doesn't it, to be back out in spring, walking in a beautiful place that's absolutely coming to life now, you know. Everything's getting life back and colour back, and oh, I love it, absolutely love it. It's just pretty, isn't it, now? Have a look. I mean, look at this. So, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you may be noticing two things right now. First, bloody hell, he's been walking through that forest a long time, and I'm pretty sure I recognise that bit. And number two, why is he suddenly wearing a very jazzy green necklace? Well, the answer to both of those questions is, as bloody usual on these videos, because I'm not quite used to carrying, filming, and having so much gear with me, I always leave something bloody behind, don't I? And this time, it was Max's lead. So, at the beginning of the video, you might have seen me acting a bit of a prat, thinking I'm still a kid and playing on a swing. Well, anyway, when I did that, apparently I left Max's lead on the seat. I didn't realise that until I'd got to the very end of these woods and was about to get onto the track towards Moelfre even, and anyway, then I had to walk all the way back through the woods because I couldn't go up the tracks onto farmland without Max's lead. And now, slightly more puffed out than the first time I did it, I'm walking back up the track. So yes, this forest path is bloody easy, but not when you're doing it for the third time in 30 minutes. Brilliant. Me and Max are out of the woods now, Corsa Gwenel woods. So nice, me and Max walked it twice. Can't believe that. I need to get better at checking all my stuff before I go. I'm really good at it if I've done cooking or something like that, because you don't want to leave a mess, but I'm obviously bloody crap at packing my actual personal stuff up. But yeah, we've come out of the woods now, so I'm hoping when we get past the little lip in front of me, the view should start opening up a little bit to the left and to the right, and we might be able to see Moelfre, where we're going today. I say it's not a mountain, 593 metres, so not crazy at all, but what it is a big old fat lump that I think should offer some incredible views of the area, to be honest. So yeah, so hopefully in a second we'll see that, but for now, come out of the woods and you come onto this old B road. Go on, Maxie. And Maxie's back on the lead now because there are sheep about. That also means that my left arm occasionally gets pulled out of its socket, you know. And I've recently got one of these leads that extends in the middle. Oh, it's a pain in the arse. Max likes it though. Oh, lots of sheepies about now. See if I can turn this camera and show you around. Oh, in fact, let me spin this camera because you can see now Moelfre in all its glory. That big lump just ahead of us, that big old round, looks a bit like an ass, to be fair. But yeah, that's where we're going, to the top of that hill today, is where I want to get us to, because one, I think it's going to offer some really cool views, but two, there's a bit of a cool spooky story in relation to that hill, which I'll tell you a little bit more about when we get up there, if we get up there. Hopefully we will. The only reason we wouldn't today is it is very hot, and I have got Maxie with me, so I need to keep an eye on him, because as I've mentioned before, he's getting a bit old now. He's 12, and as much as he loves being outside, I don't want to ever have to be in a position where I need to carry him. Wow, there's loads of sheep about here today. Ba-da-da. Some big old sheep. Lots and lots of them. Which is why I'm very pleased Maxie is on the lead, because he would be off here. He would be loving life. I don't think he'd ever hurt a sheep, but he'd have a right good time chasing them, let me tell you. Because that's just the way he is. Anyway. Ba-da-da, Davids. The other thing that we're going to see in a second, hopefully, is I have shown it before on one of my videos along this trail, but I find it very fascinating, is an old burial chamber. Like, obviously an ancient burial chamber, you know, from a long time ago, probably like predates Christianity and stuff in the area, but it should just be coming up. Yeah, I can see it now. Hopefully it won't be surrounded by sheep so I can show it you, because I don't want to walk up to something with Maxie if I'm going to disturb wildlife, but it looks pretty clear. Let's have a look. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Should just see it in front of me now. I'll get up close, but I find stuff like this fascinating now. You know, literally just at the side of the B road, we take a couple of steps and you've got this place, this ancient burial chamber. And, you know, it must have been somebody important, because if it was just a grave for normal people, then the landscape would be full of them, or maybe the landscape was full of them and there's only a few left, who knows. But yeah, an ancient burial chamber. I find stuff like that very cool. Me and Max are heading up the bridle way now after the woods and that bit of a B road, and the walk really has become very splendid now. I'll show you Moelfre again, just looking splendid now, and I'm hoping you can really sort of get what I mean about it being the sort of hill a kid would draw if you asked them to draw a hill, you know. And like I said, it just reminds me of the old story, the Iron Giant, when they bury him under a big mound at the end, because to me, there's nothing around that. It doesn't look normal. It looks like something's been buried there. But that's not where the spooky story's going today. It's a different tale that I'll tell you. That's just my own imagination that thinks the hill's a bit weird looking. Oh, probably shouldn't struggle with a gate quite as much as I am here. Bloody hell, Max, I can't get out of that. Bit embarrassing, but I genuinely stopped filming while I was trying to open that gate. Then it was wasn't stiff, it was just a bit complicated for my little simple mind. Anyway, we're through it now. And we're walking up this lovely bridle track, and I don't know if you guys can hear, but you've just got a lovely sort of stream or brook running next to us as well. The sounds, God, it's good being in nature. And considering I walked that wood twice then, I've not seen a soul yet on this walk. You know, and it is gorgeous, it is absolutely stunning. Really warm, really lovely, not a soul about. Max is having a fabulous time, and what's great is all these little streams, plenty of place for Max to grab a drink. I mean, I always carry a bowl for him and a litre of water for Max as well, but you know, he's a bit of a posh dog, my dog. He much prefers fresh mountain spring water than what's in my Carrymore bottle. But beautiful now, and again, that big old lump just coming into view that we're going to be walking up shortly. And with the speed we're doing this walk at so far, I don't think we'll be too long from the top, to be honest. And we'll have a nice bit of lunch up there and a good old brew. And by the looks of it, I don't think Max is going to have much difficulty at all at the minute. He seems to be doing sound, so yeah. I'm looking forward to getting to the top of that hill ahead of us, because the views from up there, and like I say, it's not a mountain, it's not super high, it's just a big old hill. But obviously the views from up there, because there's nothing around it, should be absolutely stunning really. So fingers crossed. I think we're about to come to the part where me and Maxie are going to start yomping across the land now, just in front of us. So I'll get Max on the lead and I'll see where we go from there. But I'm thinking I'm going to aim, if you can see the tree line on the right, I want to walk around to that. Looks like the bridle path continues towards that a little bit. And once I get to that tree line that you can see on the right, that's where I've marked on my map to come down. And on the other side of that tree is where I've put on my map to go up. So once we get a bit closer, we'll judge it properly. But breathtaking walk so far, really lovely, really easy, except doing it twice. Me and Max are now on the very bottom of the hill. You should be able to see it just sort of behind me really. I found the route on my OS maps yesterday. One of the features I like on my OS maps, I tend to use it on the computer. I use it on my phone obviously when I'm out on the ground, but when I'm at home, like anything, I prefer using my laptop over a phone. Apps I always think aren't as good as the full site. But anyway, I was looking for routes to do, because one of the features you can do is select an area of land or a radius and then select what sort of walk you're looking for in terms of how strenuous, long, etc. And then it'll show you routes that maybe other people have shared, or a lot of it is what OS themselves have shared. And they seem to have a bit of a partnership with Trail Magazine, because there's often Trail Magazine routes shared on there as well. So yeah, so I used that, and that's where I found this route yesterday. And this isn't the full route. Oh, this is muddy. This wasn't the full route that it showed me on OS. The full route was a 20k walk, so I've taken it shorter by about 7k, simply because I've got Max with me. 20k is too much for Max. 13k is a big walk for Max these days, especially when we're going up a hill like this. You should be able to sort of see the steepness now as I'm going up with the angle. But yeah, so OS maps, I can't recommend it enough, but that's where I found this route for. And so far, I've loved every second of it, other than forgetting the lead and having to walk back on myself, because that was an extra couple of kilometres that I didn't need, and Max probably didn't need, but there you go. Anyway, you see now, already left the path a little bit behind. We're starting to climb now towards them trees, and and further up that hill. I'm going to catch up with you when we get to the top of that tree line and we're close to the top, so I'll speak to you in a second, all right? Well, I'm at the final tree line now. I'm sure you can probably see behind me, this is a steep old hill. We knew it was going to be because it rises from nothing and goes to like 580 odd metres. So yeah, I'll not lie, I am absolutely sweating like a celebrity when someone mentions the Epstein list. It is absolutely roasting up here. I mean, Max is loving life though, he's doing great, the lad. Look at him. Only got a little bit more of this hill to go. I quite clearly stopped then just to catch a breath and pretended to be filming Maxie. But yeah, whew, I don't know if you can see out to my left now, but I've got awesome views of sort of Tal y Bont, Dyffryn, obviously the Irish Sea, or Moelfre, and I've got sort of the foothills of the RHINOGs behind me now, and it is just splendid. But an absolute calf buster. I mean, my lower legs are going to look like Henry VIII by the time I get down here. Massive sexy calves I'll be having. This is a beast, but a very beautiful beast at that. A very handsome beast, as Ron Burgundy would say. But yeah, oh, I'll not lie, it's making me blow out my arse a little bit, this hill. Anyway, let's press on. Oh. So, over the last stile now, and just brilliant now. See a little pile of rocks just to there, but I'm guessing that must be the highest point just there. But around me, whew, look at this view in front of me now. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I'll tell you what though, the bit of breakfast that I did have has soon worn off after that hill. So I'm looking forward to getting to the top, whether it be that bit or that bit, and I'm sure it's that bit, and having a bit of lunch, because I am bloody hungry. That's one thing that I'm not happy about now the sun's back though, is so are the bloody midges. Anyway, I'm going to walk towards these stones, and the reason I'm going to walk towards them stones is, I told you I'd tell you a bit of a spooky tale, or a bit of a myth about the area. Actually, it's quite weird. So, the story on top of Moelfre is apparently there are 3 stone pillars up here that were once women. And these women, bless them, were turned to stone for the simple crime of working on the Sabbath. So, the poor girls apparently were up here, something to do with wheat. They were trying to dry it, they needed more wind, so they came to the top of the hill on a Sunday instead of going to church. Excuse me, thoughts and prayers. And they were turned to stone accordingly. Now obviously this isn't an ancient myth because Christianity isn't an ancient religion of Wales, so probably more brought about at the time when Christianity was trying to overthrow sort of pagan beliefs in the area, and probably coming up with terrifying stories like that to try and ensure attendance on a Sunday. But what's weird is there are 3 great big bloody stone pillars in front of me, so you know, perhaps maybe don't work on the Sabbath. Saying that, I do it every week because I run a bar and a hotel, so I've not got a choice, but I'm not stone yet. Well, I do have a big rocky head, I suppose. Anyway, here's the stones in front of me. Now I'm not sure which ones were supposedly the women, but as I get closer and figure it out, I'll be sure to let you know. But I don't feel like this is the top. I feel like I'm walking away. Oh, I don't know actually, because now I do seem like I'm higher. Maybe this is the top. I mean, I could always get my map out. I'm busy talking to you guys, and sometimes it's nice. You know, it's clear, it's safe. I mean, these conditions, I'm on top of an hill in Snowdonia in a t-shirt. You know, and it's not bloody often in a hurry that you can say that, because more often than not, it's very, very wet. But no, I think these stones are the top of the hill. Oh my word. Yeah, I mean, I might walk over there because there is a cairn over there, and I did read about an ancient cairn. I don't know if this is the ancient cairn that I'm stood next to now. I mean, it looks like an ancient cairn, to be quite honest. And when I say ancient cairn, it was here long before we started building cairns for our OS maps. So this hill, at some point, obviously held some significance locally. I mean, straight off, it's just a bloody good lookout spot. I mean, if you're back in the days of tribes and hill forts and protecting yourselves from invaders from the sea, oh wow. Oh wow, I'll turn the camera around in a minute, because that view of the RHINOGs is just absolutely splendid. This is definitely the cairn in the top though. Even an old shelter here. Very old shelter. Let's have a look. It's not looking so good now, like, but there is a little shelter there. And there's the top cairn, or the trig. So we best go and touch it. Just because, oh look at that. Yeah, this is a real strange dwelling, isn't it? Very strange dwelling. But anyway, here's the top. So let's touch that so we can say we've been to the top of Moelfre. Oh, there we go. But now, just look at these views. Sorry, look at this around me. Let me just get better with this camera. There we go. Look at that. That's the views to the front. Unbelievable, isn't it? And then if I come around this way, you should now start to see the RHINOGs, and you can see the throughway, or the bypass, which is what RHINOGs is in Welsh. Bypass, I think, is a more literal translation, but yeah, you can see that gap in the RHINOGs there, or the RHINOG. Sorry if I'm speaking Welsh. And you can also see the path from Cumnantal there, going up that heathery ridge that I took the other day, if you watched my RHINOG FAWR video, and if not, I'll put the link to it in the description to this one. But yeah, I'm looking for 3 standout stones that could have been these women. Now, there was clearly one on the other side here, but I can't see any more at the minute that stand out, other than these. Whether or not they buried the stones, or I don't know, but this is a very weird top of a hill. Not weird, but old. Anyway, I'm going to have a brew, and I'm going to have a butty. But not just any butty, not a meal deal butty, I'll show you in a minute. But I don't know if I should go. Let me flip the camera around. I do think it'd be a waste of my time whilst I'm up here, not following that little track and just going sitting at the top there as well. I think I'm going to have to do that before I have a brew, otherwise I don't feel like I've earned it. So yeah, let's walk over there. Let's get over there. I'll join you when I get over there, and we'll have a brew at the top of there, because I want to see, I'm guessing from that lip I'll be able to see a really good imagery of sort of Harlech, oh bloody hell, Harlech and Porthmadog and all that sort of area. But my word, what a hill. Maxie! Where's he gone, the rascal? Maxie! Where's the dog gone? There's the bloody dog. Come on, dog. Let's go and finish off this walk. Max has just managed to find the absolute worst bog in the world to go for a dive in. He's going to absolutely bloody stink. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, you can smell it from here. Absolute cesspit of bog. I don't know why he decided to jump in there, but that's dogs for you, eh? I am going to carry on just to these not steps, but perhaps these are the stones that were once the 3 women, because this looks a little bit more freestanding than the cairn did. I know it's probably all make-believe, but I do like old legends and myths and folklore and fairy tales and all that sort of stuff. I think it's really cool. These are more shelters. That could be a rock there. Let's just turn this around again. So these ones that you can see. So this looks like another little shelter for me, like another little get out of the wind type thing. Or perhaps these were the 3 piles of rocks. 1, 2, and a third behind there. So maybe these were the 3 women. God bless you, ladies, if it's true. And yeah, a great view from here as well. Turn that around for you. See Maxie walking off. Awesome, but actually, for me, it's too hazy to enjoy that. Normally you'd be able to see the Llyn Peninsula, you'd see Wiver, you'd see, you know, Cnicht, you'd see everything over there, but it is proper hazy. So I'm going to make do with the splendid views that I've actually got, looking towards the RHINOG and Cadair Idris and Cumnantal and that sort of area. So I'm going to go back. I know I'm doing a lot of back and forth, but I don't care. I'm up here. You've got to see all the hill once you're up here. And it's bloody lovely. What a hill. Do you know, I've been desperate to do this for donkey's years. I don't know why I haven't. You know, I look at it all the time, just a big fat round hill amongst ultimately very flat land. And I know it's the foothill to the RHINOGs and that, but I still think it's weird. I still think there's something magical buried here. I really do. And you know, we've already seen remnants of burial chambers today, ancient cairns. You know, life existed here a long, long time ago. Who are we to say what's buried under here? You know, Wales is a country built on legends and myths, and I bloody believe them because I think it's wonderful. Stories like that might get exaggerated over the time, but they start from somewhere, you know. And the RHINOGs themselves, if I turn the camera, you might see them. I think they are magic mountains. The way there is a natural throughway between the both of them. I don't know, there's just magic in the air. Or maybe I'm just sounding stupid and getting a bit delirious through lack of tea and sandwiches. You know, been out all day, I've not had a brew yet. Anyway, I believe in myths. I'm going to stop over at that cairn, and today I've got a right nice butty, because I know I always slag meal deals off on this channel and I go, oh, bring a jet boil. I love my jet boil. I do love my jet boil. I think jet boils are wicked, and I make no apologies for that. And I do think something hot usually is the best way forward, but today's pretty hot, man. And I didn't want to be carrying too much weight because I wasn't coming out for long. But in Dyffryn, which is a little town or village near where I live, we have a butcher's there, very good butchers. Probably my second favourite butchers in the area, because I'll always love Jones's in Clanroost the most. But the butchers in Dyffryn is very, very good, especially for sausages. But the other thing they do really well there is they make up pre-packed sandwiches in the morning for you, but proper butties. So rather than having like a crappy BLT that the Spar have knocked up, go to a butcher's in Dyffryn, get a big old turkey and stuffing baguette. That's, you know, fresh turkey, or you get beef, or you get, you know, whatever. So I've got 2 today because I couldn't decide, so I've brought turkey and beef, because, you know, life's too short to be making silly decisions. Just have the 2 and enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to that pile of stones just in front of us. I'm going to brew up. Not going to brew up, I've already brewed up this morning at my house. I'm going to get my flask out and pour it into a cup, and I'm going to get my butty out. We're going to get Max some water, and I'll join you for a chat in a sec. That's the size of that baguette. Beautiful turkey stuffing. Max is giving me a look as if he's getting some. Max is probably getting some, to be fair. I'm going to sit here now. Oh, there we go. I've dropped a bit of turkey, Max. You might as well have that bit. Good boy. But I've got my little trusty red foam mat, and my intention is to sit here with my massive butty, my massive brew, and just enjoy a right nice place with awesome views around me. Got a right good brew again. I'm on the Yorkshire Tea Gold. It's another plug, Yorkshire Tea. Come on, send me some free tea bags. But yeah, so if you're in Dyffryn, get a butty from the butchers. Absolutely quality. But what a place. What a right nice place to stop and have some lunch. fair play, Dufferin Butchers. That turkey baguette filled me up. So the beef one is going back in the bag. I can't do two at once, although Max is looking at me thinking he could probably do two. But the little bugger won't even have any of his water. He's eating all my turkey. He won't have any water, so I'm not giving him anything else to eat until he does. But watch out, Maxie. Oh, what a splendid place to sit, though, honestly. On a day like today, with the weather like this, I mean, I know I've put a little hoodie on now I've stopped, but obviously I was sweating up that hill, and when you stop, it's not a strong wind at all. It's a proper gentle breeze up here. But with sweat on my body, that gentle breeze is enough to make me feel cold while I've stopped having a brew. So I've just slipped on this little thin hoodie. And a day like today, to be anywhere alone in Snowdonia in a RHINOG is a rare thing indeed. But to have a place as beautiful as this to yourself, very, very special. Absolutely blessed. Absolutely blessed today. It's just, I know I keep talking about the view, but I don't know why I didn't expect it to be this good, because I knew what lay behind this hill. But it's just mind-blowing. Like, the RHINOGs I really enjoyed doing the other day. They were bloody hard, but they're almost prettier to look at than they are to climb. And I find that with a lot of things, though, which is why I like Shabod when I'm doing, instead of doing Snowdon, if I want good views of Snowdon, I'll do Shabod, because you get, you're looking at the mountain. But it's just wicked. And what's cool up here is, I can't get the camera to zoom in enough, really. It won't do it justice. But you can see this wonderful patchwork of, like, I know that might sound like a boring old man. I'm part of that Dull Man's Facebook group, and that makes me laugh. But I don't think it's dull. Dry stone walls amaze me. And how the frig people used to come up Welsh mountainsides or Welsh hillsides and build miles and miles of straight dry stone walls in God knows what conditions blows my mind. And some people might think that's dull, but I think it's bloody impressive. But from here, the patchwork of stonework you can see, and sort of the crisscrosses of it, it's just fascinating, especially looking down on the mountain and seeing how people have farmed, obviously, this land for thousands of years now. And up here, all sorts of remnants of ancient sort of inhabitation, really. It's brilliant. And you find that on a lot of Welsh hills, There's always old stuff. Oh, bloody hell, there's another fire over on that hill. I've had loads of fires recently. A lot of it's gorse burning from farmers and stuff. But we've had a few bad ones around here as well at the minute. Some real blackened hillsides, but there's another one going off over there at the minute. Anyway, I've not brought a pudding today. Well, I have, but I'm not that excited by it, to be honest. I've had my butty, so I was going to get myself a little pudding, but I've bought, I normally like a Kit Kat chunky, but it's a bit warm in it for a chunky today. So I brought one of these things, these naked raw fruit and nut bar blueberry muffin. Listen, naked snacks, whoever called this blueberry muffin at your head office, you lot need to go and taste the blueberry muffin, because this ain't it. I mean, first off, it looks a lot like what I imagine a vegan's poo to look like. Very light brown and nutty, But you can't dunk it in your brew. And it's just a bit... Well, it's not a blueberry muffin, that's for bloody sure. I mean, the sign of a good treat is whether your dog will take any. Max chewed it, and now he's spat it out. If your dog won't eat it, I'm not entirely sure. We probably should. But apparently this is much better for me than a Kit Kat chunky. It doesn't give me the same satisfying feeling, but I suppose it doesn't melt. But I'm not entirely sure what it is. But I feel like it makes my face ugly when I eat it, that's for sure. I'm going to stick to flapjacks and Kit Kats, I think. Yeah, not for me, that. No good. Stick to Kit Kats, kids. Oh, honestly, I could stay here all day, especially when the weather's like this. And what a nice place this would be to camp, I'll have to remember this for when I want to do a bit of wild camping up here. I'll do a video of some wild camps soon. I've not really had the opportunity to get out. I did the Boffy video, if you've seen that, but not had much of a chance at the minute. I only get to come out and do these videos in my time off from work. Like most people, I get 2 days off a week, but unlike most people, I'm lucky enough to live in a RHINOG, or in North Wales, and I can get to the mountains in no time at all, really. And today's a prime example. Although it isn't a mountain, we've discussed that, it's 20 feet short of being classified in Britain as a mountain. But in other circles, it would be classed as a mountain. Some parts of the world class anything over 1,000 foot as a mountain, and we're over 1,000 foot now. We're not far off 2,000 foot. But in this country and in England and Scotland, we need it to be 2,000 feet or 609 meters to be classified as a mountain. The Americans, strangely enough, and I know I've got a bit of an audience in America at the minute, and I keep having that, but in America there isn't a distinct definition between a hill and a mountain. They don't have a, you know, they just sort of go, well, that's a hill and that's a mountain, but there's no specific sort of height or meters or feet required for it to be classified. You just say what it is, which is mad, really. But yeah, it is beautiful up here, and the reason I've come up here, and the reason I get out, the reason I do these videos is for my mental health, man. It's to clear my head, you know. Nothing, no matter what you're going through, like, honestly, if you're struggling at home, if you're going through stuff like I am with divorces or child access and things like that, and it's all a nightmare, when you come up to somewhere like this, you forget about it all. And I don't mean you don't care about him anymore, but you just get it clear out your head. You give yourself some thinking space, and all you can think about is, where am I going to have a brew? How do I get down from here? Where's my next stop? You know, what's that mountain called? Oh, what's that path lead to? You know, and that's all you're thinking about. So if you are, you know, a bloke and you're struggling, or even if you're a woman and you're struggling, obviously I'm not sexist, just get out there and enjoy the outdoors. And if you're looking for tips, then please do subscribe and follow my channel, because I don't just do mountains on here. What I really, the true aim of my video, really, and why I do a lot of various walks, from, you know, low level easy walks to family walks to mountain walks, is I truly believe it is for everybody. And I find online it's difficult for beginners, especially sometimes, because they might be fearful they don't have the kit or the skills or whatever. And hopefully my videos can show you that, you know, I'm no skilled person. I'm just a normal bloke who puts a backpack on and has some nice warm gear and some bits to make a brew with, and I go out. And, you know, if you are stuck, then I'd love to help you, you know. I mean, that's my sort of plan, really. One day I would love to take this channel to a point where it helps people get outside for the first time, even, you know, and conquer hills or conquer walks, or just get miles. You know, for some people a couple of miles walk's huge. But I think I'd like to take this channel to help people like that, but more importantly, help people who are struggling with mental health, you know, people who have been lonely and sat at home despairing, thinking there's no way out of the predicaments, and there is. Oh, and there's somebody else joining me up here, breaking the solitude now. Two people have just crossed over the ladder stile. I'm going to put Max on the lead as well. I'm going to go now because they've got a little dog. Maxie, come on. What's this? I'll tidy up my little campsite a bit. I don't want it to be ruined for them when they get here. So I'll see you in a second. Well, that's me and Maxie finished our lunch, and we're going to head back down now. I've just been having a wicked... I said it on my last video about Moel Shabod. Maybe it's a Moel thing. Maybe I always meet on Moels. Maybe that's what it is. But I've just met two proper cracking lads on the summit there. I was having my lunch, and then I mentioned to you that I've got to go because there's another dog coming. Simon and Mark, they were two lovely chaps. I had a cracking chat with them on top of the hill then, and we all shared a brew. It was all very nice. Didn't put them on the video just because we were talking, and some people don't always want to be videoed, do they? So, but Simon and Mark, lovely to have met you if you're watching this. I hope to see you in the Tillman for a pint the next time you're in Barmouth. But what was great about it is, first off, Simon and Mark do a lot of walking around here. Mark, I think it was, is the one who lives locally now, but like me, he's a northerner by birth. I think his mum was Welsh. She was from Ynys or Anglesey, but he was a Salford lad, and obviously I'm a Bolton lad originally, so it was nice to have that small world connection, you know. And what's really weird is they were in my hometown of Barmouth yesterday at the Dragon Theatre watching a talk by the chap who walked around all of Britain. It's a small world, really nice to chat to them. But the best bit of information I got from them about up here is they were asking me why I was on the hill and what I was doing, and I said, oh well, you know, I enjoy going for walks that hopefully I can follow or find some sort of myths and legends and a bit of history. So we got talking about the three ladies that were turned into stone up here, and apparently the statues are no longer standing, they were telling me. So just on the other side of where I was having my lunch then, you might be able to see them on the ridge behind me, but just behind where I was having my lunch and a brew, there was an old plateau there which did have 3 massive monoliths on there, and apparently some years ago people toppled them over. And I mean, when I say some years ago, I don't mean like 4 years ago, a couple of chavs come up. A long time ago, these monoliths were pushed over the top of the hill. But I just, stuff like that, and just the feeling this hill gives me, man, this is an important hill. I don't know who it was important for, I don't know why it was important, but man, there's so many sort of signs of ancient life around here. And when you look at, if I turn this camera around, it is hazy today, but if you look, you know, you sort of view out to sea, you would be able to see any cheeky rascals coming from Ireland. You've got plenty of time to know about anybody coming across that land. And the same goes for the view on the other side of the hill. You know, it's an easily defendable position. It's got great land, it's grassy land. It's not sharp rocks and stuff, it's just cool. Really into it, Moelfre. I'd definitely recommend you go. Come on, Maxie, let's get over this stile. Maxie, up. But yeah, it's great. Come on, mate, what are you doing? Maxie does not want to go up. Come on, buddy. You had too much turkey. Come on, up here. There we go, good. Well, we're making our way down the hill. Got Max over that stile. And sometimes when you come up a hill, you don't realise how good the views are behind you, but look at how good this is now coming down. Look at that. Unbelievable. This hill really gives you a sense of being much, much higher than you are. Oh, you're right there. Max found a bit of dog poo. Sorry, not dog poo, fox poo. Max finds fox poo. He loves rolling around in it. But look at this coming down. You might get some sort of idea of how steep this is. My calves and my thighs can't wait, but yeah, look at that, man. How good is that for a view on your way down a hill? Doesn't get much better, does it, really? Buzzing that I met them 2 chaps at the top as well. I love meeting people when you're on a hill. Seems to be becoming a bit of a habit, you know. We met Jason last time, didn't we? The lad from Colorado. Met some fellow Northerners today who, like me, have moved to Wales, and like me, a dusky Cymraeg, we're learning Welsh, so that was great. It's just superb, you know, really nice. Always nice to meet like-minded people. And what was really cool, before they came up the hill, I was talking about mental health, and you know, if you are out there lonely and need to get outside, you know, I'll always go for a walk with you, don't be alone. But these 2 lads that I was chatting to, actually retired now, but they spent all their working life in the NHS working as mental health, I don't know whether they were mental health nurses or, you know, some sort of therapists or what they were, but they worked within mental health within the NHS. And you know, they're experts, they're the professionals, and they're out here doing the mountains because they understand the importance of it as well. So very like-minded people, and you're always going to meet like-minded people when you're on the hills, because you all share a common interest, which is Mother Nature. I don't know if you're getting some sort of sense of the steepness of this hill, but honestly, obviously I'm not out of breath going down, but let me flip this around. My knees are protesting quite a bit. Look at this. Woo! Seriously steep. Come on, Maxie. Very steep indeed. You can see the road in the distance maybe that we've got to get to. And then from there, I've got to carry on following that road all the way across those hazy fields to the trees that you might just be able to make out in the distance, through the forest and back down to the seafront. So, you know, not a small walk by any stretch of the imagination to go back quite a few miles between here and where we need to go. It's a lot harder walking across a field with Max on a lead as well. And again, especially since I've got this new sort of bouncy lead thing. I'm not ungrateful, Mother. I thank you for buying it for him. My mum's a bit mad. My mum bought my dog. My dog sometimes goes to my mum's if I'm going, my dog, Max, sometimes stays at my mother's house with my mum and dad. If I'm going away, or if I need to be away for work, or if I'm just going camping, I can't take Max somewhere for whatever reason. Anyway, my mum, bless her, she's turned into one of them crazy dog ladies, you know. And like most of Britain, she's bought herself a bloody cockapoo now. F1 cockapoo, might I add, an F1 cockapoo, darling. Which basically means she just paid more money for that than, you know, she probably spent on raising me. But anyway, my mum loves the dog, and that's cool. And she also loves Maxie, which is also cool. But when he last stayed at my mum's house, she decided it would be better if Max and his cousin had matching leads and collars. So when I came to pick up my dog, the halty lead that he'd been using for years, and all right, it was a bit scruffy looking, but it was practical. My mum decided it would be better if the cousins looked the same, and now I've got this bungee type lead, which is great if you've got a cockapoo, you know, because they're too timid to ever pull. Just hides behind my mum's leg all the time. Whereas Maxie, he's an adventure dog, isn't he? Pulling away all bleeding time. Anyway, I am grateful. Oh, look, a bog. I do love a good bog. No, Maxie, we are not going in the bog. Max loves a bog, but then he absolutely honks. And you know, unlike F1 cockapoo owners, I don't like to take my dog to the groomers every 3 hours to ensure that the hair is perfect. I don't mind cockapoos really, but I'm definitely convinced cockapoos were bred by dog groomers to keep themselves in business forevermore. Seems like a cunning plan to me. Design a dog that needs an haircut every 4 weeks. Genius, genius. Anyway, we really are on the flat bit now. Just walking through these last bits. I'm heading for the gate, and then we'll be back on that straight bridle way, and that's just going to take us all the way back to the forest where we started, the one that I walked through twice, and back to the car. And hopefully the Ysgethin Pub will be open, because I don't really drink, to be honest. I don't mind a shandy every now and then, but I certainly don't like drinking to get drunk. I'm not into it, mainly because I'm at that stage in my life where I get the beer fear now, and the idea of having a hangover scares me more than the idea of a good time thrills me. So I stay away from it really, because I need 3 days to recover, and also I'm too tight. Alcohol's too expensive. But anyway, ranting about booze, I hope the Ysgethin's open, because a big old pint of maybe shandy or orange and lemonade would go down an absolute treat right about now. But I'm not sure. It's a Monday, and a lot of businesses around here shut on Monday. They'll probably all be open soon when the season starts proper in 2 weeks, but at the minute I think everyone's still enjoying their last little bit of a break before the tourist season really booms for us, to be honest, because then it'll be crazy. But you know, tourist season is crazy. Thankfully though, you know, I still get a bit of time off in tourist season, and on one of my next coming up videos, I'm going to be having a special guest join me, funnily enough, also from America. Well, he's not really from America, but he's been in America for the last sort of 10 years, and he'll be joining me on my next video, or one of my next videos, because I'm going to go and do RHINOG with him, because he's never been up there before. So yeah, I'll be doing a first timers video, and I'm introducing you to my special guest properly on that video, so I do it the justice it deserves. But yeah, we're going to climb RHINOG together on my next video, just so he'll be on the video as well, and you'll get the perspective of what a first timer going up RHINOG or Snowdon it really feels like, because obviously when you've done it a few times, you obviously get a little bit more confident, like you do when you've done anything a few times. But I think it'd be good for people to see the route I'm taking, because I'm going to be taking the Ranger's Path, which I strongly believe is the easiest route up Snowdon or RHINOG. I know most people say the Llanberis route is, but I don't think so. And on my next video about RHINOG with my special guest from America, who's not really from America but has lived there for a long time, I'll show you exactly why I think the Ranger's Path is the easiest way. Anyway, bloody ram. Well, that's us almost at the end of our walk now, and let me tell you, Max has been absolutely loving it in this forest. After being out on the side of the hill where there was very little shade and shelter, he's loving it amongst these trees now. Plenty of shade, plenty of things to sniff, plenty of places to go and get a drink of water. Happy as a pig in poo, ain't you, Maxie lad? He's loving life, and so am I. So am I. What a good walk that was. Really beautiful walk. Strongly recommend it if you're looking for places to see in Snowdonia that are a little bit more off the beaten track, away from the big crowds, not the honeypot sites, but offer just as much beauty. Then I'd certainly recommend this walk up from the Ysgethin up to Moelfre. Brilliant day, really great day, and yeah, thanks for stopping by. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much, and if you haven't, please do. I'd love to keep making videos. And obviously I'd love for people to keep watching them. So, you know, thanks very much for those that do watch. It's been really great. And thanks for the comments, and please leave more about places you might want me to visit or recommendations for walks, especially if you know any great walks that aren't too big that I can take Maxie on. That's always good, because they're the ones I struggle with the most, to be honest. I know plenty of big routes that I want to take, and I want to take you guys on. But dog walking ones require a little bit more thought, really. You know, you will want to avoid certain things, especially for Maxie, like scrambling or big fields full of cows. I don't want to do them ever. Scary creatures, cows. Anyway, I could talk for an hour about how cows scare me. I don't know if it's because I eat so much beef and they can smell it on me and they just come at me. But anyway, here we are now on the final bit. You can see the gravel track behind me. So you know we're right close to the pub, so fingers crossed it'll be open. And we can repay them for the kindness of allowing us to park there all day with a nice refreshing drink. Or if we're right lucky, a bit of grub. Because after sharing my butty with Max, I am a bit hungry, to be honest. And I know he'd like a bag of pork scratchings. But anyway, if you haven't done so already, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. This is me down at Right Nice Places. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all very soon. Well, good news. The Ysgethin was open. Hacky da. Got myself a lovely pint of Heineken Shandy. Oh, and let me tell you, it was much needed. Today, me and Max, I didn't just get me a treat though. Look at this. Posh snacks for dogs in this pub. Rabbit natural chews. So it's a rabbit furry ear. And I got him a lovely pack of pork scratchings. So Max is going to tuck into that now.